Hello friends, since the Bing chat was not yet available last time, we started building our own. So we built a small little chatbot that could answer queries and search for on the internet for answers to our actual question. Now at this time today, I have access to Bing chat, but Microsoft decided to make it very boring. It's basically lobotomized. So looks like we have more work to do. Anyways, you guys seem to like it, so thank you very much. And we will continue today. Before this, I ran our previous code through ChatGPT and asked to simplify it. So it's simplified now. And I also wrote a small little API and front end around it so that we can see it in the web browser. It looks a bit nicer and cleaner. I asked ChatGPT for all of this, so yeah, it's all his work. So if you remember, we could do things like, what's the best movie so far of 2023? And then it will go out there and it will come up with a response. There we go. The best movie so far of 2023 is Ant-Man and the Wasp, apparently, according to the little thing that we made. Now, the most important shortcoming that we had right now is that it fetches information from websites, but it only uses the content that Bing returned, so like the little snippet of text that we got to build his answer. So it doesn't know much more context than what is actually showing up in the search results. And that is what we wanted to show, what we wanted to fix today. I have already kind of an idea of what I want to do. So what I want to do is we have this list of search results, and I want to go and fetch the web pages of each of them. Then I want to convert them to text because we really don't need all of the HTML stuff. We just need the main text of the article or whatever is in there. So I want to simplify it. And then we want to build some kind of an index around it so that we can look for the most important or the most relevant parts of each of those websites. Then we'll combine all of that together and then send it to GPT-3 to ask it to come up with an answer. The reason I want to have these little parts is that, well, the input length of GPT-3 is limited, and also you're paying for a longer input. So we actually wanted to make it kind of shorter beforehand, before we actually send it over, and that'll hopefully get us better, faster, and cheaper results. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I did some researching. So there is this package called GPT-index, and this actually lets you give it a bunch of documents, and then it will, when you query it for something, it will first take the most important parts and then it will answer your question. So this is kind of the main package that we will use. And I've also found that there's, wait, this one is not, no, there's this trafilatura. I don't know which language accent I should pronounce this. But this one, you can give it a URL and it will give you a clean plain text based on the URL. So those two things together, that should get us there. So yeah, let's see what you can do. Cool. So I reworked what we had last time into not a console thing where you give it one question and answers it, but now it's just a method to answer a question, it's a string, and then it does it. It's the same code, it's just shorter, and it's just in a method so that we use it in the API on the other side of it. Cool. And this is what we want to go and expand. So what we know is that in this case, we have this search query. It returns our web pages, and of the web pages, it gets the value. All right. And then when we have here the results, each of the results, we have the name, URL, and the snippet. Cool. So what we want to do now, let's say we have def, you know what? Let's say we have these results and we wanted to add the content to it. So add website content result and so result content is response. Okay, you know, this is pretty close, right? So this is already doing requests.get and it's fetching URL, but this will result in our entire HTML file, which we don't want. So I will go and install this package. So open a Python terminal, and we will do pip install. There we go. We can import this Yeah, this guy. I'm spelling this right. It's probably a bit slow. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Actually, so I say use. Yep. Thank you. Okay. No. Okay. Actually, I want to say fetch URL using. Yeah. So this is what I want, and this should be the contents. Oh, return result. Right. So now we have the actual content. That was actually a lot easier than I would have expected. So to fetch you, but this is not going to work, right? This is fetch URL, but this doesn't extract it. So I will want to wrap extract. There you go. Does this just do what we want? Main function exploit with package. Yes, that sounds like what we want. It can actually take a URL. So wait, I just do URL equal. That's nice. Okay, so add website content done. Can close this now. The GPT index one, that's going to be a bit harder. I've been reading into how this works. It's not super clear to me, but I suppose we'll figure it out. So what I want to do here is, so we will have this content, but it will be pretty long per page. So I wanted to split up each of the website's content into little blocks so that we can take one or a few of the most important blocks per website. And then just from those 10, say from those 10 websites in the search results, take like, I don't know, 5 snippets of one of those or multiple of those 10 websites. So I wanted to split that up because I don't think GPT-index does it by itself. Now we'll just give it all the parts and then we query it. And actually it's GPT-index itself that does the querying. So as you can see here, maybe I'll zoom in a bit more. Oof, that's a lot. You say like query, and this is an actual question, right? So, okay, so this is basically this prompt. You can even just completely replace it. Okay, interesting. And yeah, so if you don't know this embedding stuff, this is a kind of the crucial point about everything, how this works. What it does, so all these large language models like GPT-3, and they have an internal representation, a numerical representation of text. And it's a vector, it's a list of numbers, right? But this is like you take in a text and you do a couple of layers in your machine learning algorithm, all the neurons and multiple layers, and then you get to this one list, this one vector. And because of the way it's trained, then it kind of seems like this vector, you can call it a thought vector. It contains some idea of meaning of the content that was put into it. So we can use this if we have this thought vector of each of our snippets, and then we have the thought vector of the question. Then we can see which snippet corresponds closest to the question. So that's probably the part that's going to be most related to helping us answer the question, and that's going to help us to, then we can put that in GPT-3 and give it and ask it to actually answer the question. That's what we're going to do there. So that's how the embedding stuff works. Embedding is also the OpenAI API. So it's another model. It's not the DaVinci 003. It's, I think by default the package uses one of the Ada ones. The Ada is the smallest and the cheapest one, so that's nice. It's cheaper. Yeah. So let's see what we can do here. So what I want to have, so I have this content. So we have here results with content. This is exactly what I wanted. And so now what I want to do is I want each of those results, I wanted to create multiple documents of this. So actually let me install the GPT-index pip install gpt-index. Can I sing this song on YouTube? Index. Okay. Well. Who? So. Yeah, right. It's, you know, something like this. Yeah, but not that quickly. So we have results with split content. It doesn't know. How do we do this? So okay, let's see what this is. If you don't know what's auto-completing here, it's GitHub Copilot. It's a plugin that tries to autocomplete and figure out what you want it to do. As you can see here, I am very clear and descriptive in my variable name so that it can help me much more with completing it, right? So it has name URL snippet. Yes, for result and result with content. For snippet in result content.split if length is bigger than 100. Wait, what is this gonna do? So I don't get this. So you have the results. So you have you split the content by line. And then you give it if for a snippet. Jesus, I don't know why I don't understand. I'm not that familiar with Python actually. I usually mostly do JavaScript. Well, you know what? We can just log this out, right? And then we kind of forget this stuff. Return. I don't know. Yeah, sure. Okay. So we wanna have this. Is there something wrong still? There's still something wrong. Line 36. Unmatched closed bracket. That's probably. No? For results in. For snippet. Or is it? This one. Ah, this is this one. So this one should be there. Yeah. Okay. So what can we do here? We have. Yeah, we can do the same thing. Okay, fire. That's fine. Okay, what do we have here? Exception. Yes, sure. Offset content. Missing one required positional argument. File content. No, I want you to fetch the URL. Okay, so I suppose we do the thing that we had before. Fetch URL. Fetch URL. And we do extract. Let's try that again. It's not removing the error. Okay. Lol. Okay, let's see what we have here. So, so we have a bunch of them. Actually, so much that my scroll back is broken. That's fine. This looks like. Yeah, that's actually pretty neat. But I want the snippets to be longer. Like 100 is a bit short. Let's double it. It's actually, I don't know. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, that sounds actually pretty good. So, okay, perfect. So we have the We have the name, URL, and snippet. And then we have all the snippets, which is nice because I do actually still want to have the name and URL here so that if we ever want to add citing to the bot where it says like, oh, I got this from this source, then we still have the information here. Okay, cool. So now we have our documents. Right, result snippet, yes. I want to have this document. This is GPT-index documents. Actually, I don't know. Can I add it? More stuff. Text, document ID, embedding, extra info. Let's... Yeah, we have extra info here, right? So this can be a dict. So I will add extra info is URL. Result URL. Why is this not okay? It was not closed. Yes, it is. It's there. Try to read, damn it. Oh, this one should have a comma here. There you go. There we go. Okay, so now we have the contents, the documents. What I want to do now is create an index. Index equals GPT-index. Index dot. It's called a list index. GPT list index documents. I think this is what I want. I had this one open. I want to have a tree in it. It's just a list. I want it to be simple. List index documents. Perfect. Save to this, that doesn't matter. So we'll just use it once. And then we can query it. Okay, so actually it's just we do return index.query question. And it says here, set logging to debug. I do want that. How do I do the logging? Well, it's set logging it's debug level. Import logging, sure. Yes, thank you. Is there something else you want to do? Oh, okay, perfect. Nice. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. Let's see what we have so far. I really want this thing to get rid of the error, so I'll open this file real quick. So this is solid.js. I'm trying it out because it looks really interesting. For so far, I'm pretty happy with it. So when we do a new request, loading is true, input is empty, set error, and that's an empty string. There we go. Cool. What's the best movie so far of 2023? Let's terminal. No, I want to open. Open terminal? No. Okay. 0 tokens. I don't trust that one. Is it still doing something? I suppose it is. It says embedding. I do want to use embeddings, please. Let's see, what did we miss? Wait, here it says mode equal embedding. Suppose I could try that. Next query. Mode. Queries called with the given mode. Yes, the mode determines the type of query to run. Yes. Yeah, now it's of course reloading this stuff. Index struct, index list documents, yes. So, oh, tree index, yeah, list index section. Embedding based. Oh, okay, let's just try it again. I'll quickly reload this. Is it now not doing anything? What's going on here? Let's just completely, oh. I was saying let's completely restart this, but okay, so see the API. I forgot the, yeah, there we go. This is the one. Okay. So it was still calculating last time? Let's check this out. This thing, no, it looks pretty quiet here. Huh. So something is not happening here. Right. Simple screen recording is using all of my CPU because I'm recording my screen, of course. Okay, so what are we missing here? Oh! Oh! It did something. It didn't return anything. Okay, but this is interesting. So LLM token usage, so the LLM, if you don't know, large language model, so that's the GPT-3 actual, like the Da Vinci one that we used last time for all our stuff. So 262 tokens, that's actually very short, not that. Embedding token usage, 16,000 tokens. Yeah, that kind of makes sense for 10 websites. That actually kind of makes sense. Okay. So what does this return? I don't know what this returns actually. So response, there we go. We print response, return. Does it know what to do with this? I don't know. Oh, haha, autocomplete. What did they do in the example here? This response has markdown, right? So that's just a string. Actually, let's shorten the amount of websites. Modified with only first 5. Yeah, but you don't have to fetch everything. No, I don't want you to do add, like something like this, you know? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Close this, please. And you know what? I want this to run in parallel. So let's ask ChatGPT. Yep. Let's select everything. Copy it. So what is the thing that we want? So we want this. So modify this script so that the call with add website content in the loop runs in parallel. Let's figure it out. Maybe we can cut off some of these comments. Send. Sure. Yes, perfect. Concurrent futures sounds good. Programming. Yeah, there's nothing to do. You just wait on the response. Well, actually, I really love this style of programming because, like, what I'm the best at is figuring out what's going wrong, making decisions, knowing what direction to look at. And so the actual code writing is a much smaller part of your skill. It's something you can do it. Being wrong in your syntax, it's just annoying. It just takes time. So that's what this kind of stuff, it really helps. So I suppose we just copy everything here, or I place it and then hope that it was right. Paste. Come on. What's happening here? Delete, copy, paste. There you go. Good computer. So let's see what it figured out. Schedule the function to run in parallel. Perfect. Futures. And you have this stuff. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. Actually, I do still want the stuff. Import noise? No, I'm not doing this. Name OpenAI is not defined. What did you change with this thing? Did you remove my OpenAI imports? Okay. Let's see how much it deleted. Damn it. Okay, there we go. Oof. It's broken. Results content. Yes, an extract. What's the see this? Why is this? Why do stack traces get so messed up when you put a API framework thing around it? Yes, I know. GPT chat search. Oh, that's my directory. File fast API. Yes. In add offset content. Yes. Ah. Signal only works in thread of the main interpreter. Ah, okay. So this extractor thing is doing something that we cannot run in parallel, at least not without doing extra work of figuring out how to do it. So, well, let's cancel the parallel idea for now. We'll just go back to this one. Paste this. I'm doing a right-click paste because I use the Vim keyboard bindings and they mess up the copy paste within VS Code and outside VS Code. So my system clipboard is not the same one as the VS Code one. Feel free to send me ideas how to fix it. I just haven't looked it up yet, how to do it. Okay, so there we go. It's building the index. And you can see this is pretty slow, right? And I have a decently fast computer. So it's very impressive that Bing Chat is so fast. And it tells you a lot about the hardware it's running on. All of this stuff is very complicated. It requires a ton of hardware. And they have a ton of hardware behind it. Like, it's expensive for them, that stuff. Okay. So, we have the response. It's not possible to answer the question without prior knowledge. That's interesting. So it's response.response that we want. I mean, it's like a new line that I actually want to trim off. So we're doing response.response, response.trim. I want to trim new lines. Actually, trim just empty stuff too, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's try this again. Sheesh. Stuff is slow. No? STR has no response. Trim. What do you mean a string has no trim? Does that not exist in Python? It's something else? What's it called? Strip? Strip. Yeah. It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing, just figure it out. Okay. If computers could understand you. Actually, I just saw this week, I saw this command. Please. Let's find it. Yeah, this one, that's great. So if you're writing commands, just type please in front. Instead of, and you describe your application. No, this is not the one. Yeah, I think it's this one. Nope, it's not this one. Wow, everything is called please. Anyways, it was it's a CLI that lets you describe your question in plain texts in human language, and then it uses OpenAI Codex, the code prediction thing, to come up with an actual command. So it's really nice if you can't remember your commands, and just please do it. So It is not possible to answer a question without prior knowledge, as the best movie has not yet been. I'm asking so far. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So, yeah, I mean, basically, that's it, right? This is the next part of our bot. We build a nice chatbot. Let's ask for something else. What happens after Microsoft's most recent updates to Bing Chat? Do people still like it? Let's see. Because it just happened like 2 days ago. Excuse me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oof. Internet. Non-type has no attribute split, of course. So my internet, no, it's fine. Okay, let's try it again. No, not the best movie. That's not what I wanted to ask. Actually, it looks like this Tafida Tuna one is decently fast. It's a query that takes the longest time, right? Because it's already here. It's already at the index building part. So you would need to speed up this GPT index in a way. Yeah. So let's try this other question. By the way, I'm actually pretty impressed by ChatGPT's design skills. Like, I didn't do any of this design. So that's pretty cool. Except for some dark mode changes that I made. I asked it to do it, but it wasn't complete, so. Based on the context information, it's called context, okay. Appears that people are still engaging, okay. 71% in the first week, yeah, but that's the first week. Okay, so, hey, that's pretty nice. So, okay, what are some possible expansions that we can do now? So now it knows a lot more about the actual websites it's visiting. It's kind of slow, so that's at least one thing that we can try to improve next time. Can we make it faster? Another thing that we can do is actually make this a real conversation. Make it so that it also knows the previous parts of the conversation. So right now, the call to GPT-3, the actual prompt, last time we custom built a prompt. At this point, it's kind of hidden within GPT-index. It's doing it by itself. So we might update the prompt so that it includes the previous parts of our conversation so that we can ask follow-up questions. We could also think about letting the chatbot itself figure out when it needs to do searches, which is if you use Bing Chat, you know that it does that. So you ask it about something and it will kind of figure out itself what it needs to search for. I think actually that's a very interesting feature because this brings you from not just having text conversation to having the chatbot output both natural language text and also commands, which is really structured data. So that's something I for sure want to look into because I also, another project, I added voice to GPT-3. So it's voice recognition and voice response. And there's actually a full conversation where you have the two parts and it remembers what you said before. And it's really weird what happens when you start talking to it. It feels a lot more real because the words that it says it's just so good. And I wanted to be able to do things, not just respond to me. So it would be very interesting to figure out a way to let it give commands so that it can ask the computer for something and the computer will calculate like, hey, can you search up for me for this? Or can you do this calculation for me? Or can you tell me what the date is? Because these language models have no clue what the date is. So that would be something interesting to look into. And then, yeah, the chat history. In chat history, you can even make it more advanced where you have not just have the verbatim conversation, but at some point it'll be too long. So maybe you want to ask it to summarize the previous part of the conversation. So there's a lot of things to look into. I will upload the source code. I'll put a link in the description so you can try it out for yourself. And yeah, let me know what you find the most interesting, what you want us to look at next, what you thought about this one. I put it in dark mode and bigger text, so I hope that's better for you guys to see everything. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.